At the beginning, there was no difference between the word religion and spirituality. Religion was spiritual. As corruption started happening, they both fell apart. They became two different identities, two different things. By trying to gain name and fame, popularity, we're trying to fill our life with something. Since the day we were born, we're constantly trying to feel fulfilled by filling ourselves with these variety of things. But what is your experience today? Do you feel fulfilled? Yes or no? Whatever is the highest human experience, you want to elongate it. You want to make that highest human experience not dependent on anything. You want that highest human experience to be there forever, non-dependent. First line of the invocation. We chanted, Asatoma Sadgamaya. Please lead me from the asatya, that is the untruth of life, into the satya, which is the truth of life. Very profound line. Please lead me from the untruth of life into the truth of life. Question is, what is the untruth of life? And what is the truth of life? Okay, we park it for now. That needs one full day of retreat with all of you. Second line of the invocation says, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Please lead me from the tamas of life. What is tamas of life? Please lead me from the state of confusion, non-clarity, illusions, darkness, lethargy, postponement, into a state of absolute light, absolute clarity. And the third line of the mantra says, Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Please lead me from the zones of fear into the zone of absolute fearlessness. A lot that we want to do with our life, we're not able to do. We're not able to live fully because some fear stops us. So in the third line, we are asking the divine Shiva, please take us from the state of fear into the absolute state of no fear, fearlessness, because that's when I start to experience life in its fullness. So with this beautiful invocation, we enter into the satsang today. Can we raise it a little bit? Yeah, that's good. Yeah. No, I want it closer. Closer. Yeah. So what are we going to do today is what I call, we will follow the Upanishadic process. What is the Upanishadic process? Where we enter into a dialogue. I'll speak a few things, just a few thoughts I will share. And then we'll have questions. Ask anything that you want to ask me under this sun. I'm saying ask anything that you want to ask me or explore together under this sun, and we will try and do that. Let me share a few thoughts with you. I do not know what has been your spiritual journey / experience so far. So let me start from the very beginning. We hear two words. One word, religion. Other word, spirituality. And I see humanity is eternally confused between the two. What is what? We have our own notions. let me share some thoughts. At the beginning, there was no difference between the word religion and spirituality. Religion was spiritual. As corruption started happening, they both fell apart. They became two different identities, two different things. What you see religion as today is a composition of a lot of rituals. Every tradition/religion has its own set of rituals. But earlier, we had infused a lot of spirit into every ritual. And every ritual was very spiritual, because the spirit was infused in every ritual. What is this spirit? The spirit of inquiry was fused into every ritual. The spirit of devotion was infused into every ritual. The spirit of service was infused into every ritual. But today, we've took all that spirit away and the ritual has become mechanical. For an example, we have a deity at home, the statue of Buddha, Shiva, Krishna, Ganapati. It's just a statue. How do you make that statue into a divine living entity? You infuse spirit into some of the rituals. You light a lamp there with the spirit of devotion, with the spirit of offering, and with the spirit of understanding that with this act of my lighting the lamp in front of my deity, I am creating a connection of light between him and me. Yeah. I am creating a tunnel of light between my deity and me. Through this tunnel of light, the jnana, the knowledge, the essence of that deity gets transferred into me also. If with this understanding I start to light the lamp in front of my deity, I've infused spirit into that ritual. A heartfelt spirit into that action, into that ritual. And suddenly the deity is no more a religious figure, it's a living spiritual thing for me. Are we together so far? So any religion you can make into spirituality by infusing this spirit into that. So essentially there is no difference. Just infusing spirit into every ritual that you do. So that's the background. I just wanted to first establish that as an understanding. Now, let's look at your life. We're entering into the practical zone now. We're trying to fill our life with things around us. By reading books, we're trying to fill our life with a lot of jnana, knowledge. By acquiring money and matter, we're trying to fill our life with matter. By trying to gain name and fame, popularity, we're trying to fill our life with something. Since the day we were born, we're constantly trying to feel fulfilled by filling ourselves with these variety of things. But what is your experience today? Do you feel fulfilled? Yes or no? Be honest today. Be very honest today. We're exploring something together. And I can read faces. Even if you do not speak or say, I know. Throughout this life, we've been trying to fill ourselves with things, but our anubhava, which is our current state of experience, tells us, I'm not complete. I'm not yet fulfilled. Then somebody comes and tells you, do this and you will feel complete. Then you try to do that. Then somebody tells you, there's a new book on spirituality in the market. Go read that and you will feel fulfilled. You acquire some more jnana, knowledge. Do not feel fulfilled. Are we together so far? And you know what is the problem? We're trying to fill ourselves. There are two key zones that you have. You have many zones, but two key centers that you have. One is a center here called mind. The other is a center here called heart. Mind is the space of lack. Heart is the space of abundance. Problem. What we've been doing and what we are told in the life to fill this, your concept of name, fame, money, possessions, knowledge is all here. No matter how much you try to gain that, it doesn't get fulfilled. Let me share a story with you. Once a great yogi in the form of a beggar, a Shiva's beggar. There is a whole sect in India called Aghoris. What are the Aghoris? These are the people, these are deep meditators, but they meditate on death. They meditate at cremation grounds. They put ash all over themselves. They're very ugly, not ugly. You're scared to look at them. That's how they carry themselves out. They're called Aghoris. So once one Aghori went to a very famous king. And this king was famous for donations. He would get a high by donating to the beggars. He would feel high. The ego feels high, right? This king was famous for that. But in the heart, king was a good man. So this Aghori went to the king with a human skull in hand. These Aghoris carry human skulls. So he went to the king with the human skull and he said, donate something to me in this skull. You know, when we ask for something, there has to be a pot. That fill this pot with something. So he went with this skull to the king. King looked at it and started laughing. He said, you idiot. You've come to a great king like me who can, fill bags, large bags in gold and silver and all of that. And what you've got me is just this skull, small thing. Anyways, he ordered his fellow beings that, what will he do with this small thing? No problem. Let's fill it with, give him some gold. So they got a lot of gold coins and filled this skull with the gold coins. The skull will not get filled. Little more gold coins. Skull will not get filled. Now the king is scared because gold. So he tells them, stop the gold, put some silver into it. Okay, boss. So they start to put some silver coins into it. The more they put, the more it disappears. King is scared now. He doesn't want to become beggar. So he says, stop, don't put even silver. Get some rice, fill this with rice. They pour rice into it and the skull does not get fulfilled at all. Now he is losing all his stock of rice. And that's when king really got scared and he said, stop. And he fell into the feet of this Aghori. He says, you are a magician. Who are you? And why are you playing tricks with me? Do you want me to make into a beggar? Aghori says, no, king. I'm just trying to show you your own life. You are like this skull. No matter what you do, no matter how much land you acquire, no matter how much ego you want to build by giving dana, donations, nothing is getting fulfilled in your life. Because, O king, the space called mind which is represented in the story as a skull, always remains empty. It never gets fulfilled. I will prove it further. When you were in school, what did your mind tell you? How will you be fulfilled? By leaving the school, entering into college. I will be fully free. I will have all the freedom. My life will be fulfilled. That's what your mind told you. Am I right? Well, you enter into the college. 3 months were great. Then the emptiness hits you back again. And now you're thinking, what the hell have I got myself into? When will this get over? And now you think that by getting a great campus placement, you will get fulfilled. Bingo. You got campus placement. You felt happy for a few months because you had money now. But after a few months again, the lack kicked in. L-A-C-K, the lack kicked in. Skull was empty again. You're still not satisfied. Then somebody wise came and said, I think go get married. You will get fulfilled. Brilliant idea. And you got out and you got married or whatever. And after a few months / year, you felt, oh my God, what have I done to myself? Then somebody came and said, no, you get children. And now your life will be fulfilled. That was the next thought. You acted upon it. Now you had family. But the lack kicked in again. And here we are sitting together. I'm asking you, do you feel absolutely fulfilled right now? Because whatever you wanted to acquire in life, do in life, accomplish in life, you've done all of that. You've got everything, whatever you've ever dreamt of. Are we together? Are you fulfilled? Go back to your college days. You never dreamt of a life that you're living right now. We just drove here in an automatic self-driving Tesla. We never dreamt when we were in school or college that this will become a reality for us and we will own that. We have everything. Are we fulfilled? Yes or no? Be honest. No. Because we are approaching life from the wrong center called the mind, the skull, which is the center of lack. So what is the center of abundance in human system? Is your heart. I'll prove it. When you fell in love first time or 10th time does not matter. But whenever you fall in love, what do you feel? Lack or fulfillment? Fulfillment. Especially the honeymoon period. You're really fulfilled. Because you're operating from here, this center has yet not kicked in. You didn't get the formula right. This is the space of absolute abundance and fulfillment. Now I'm asking again, honestly, tell me, what all do you do to operate from here? Because every word, decision, and action that you make comes from here, not from here. Am I right? Problem. Do you understand the problem? None of your word, action, decision comes from this space, which is the space of abundance, which is really the space of fulfillment because it's already fulfilled. You didn't come empty here, my friends. You came fulfilled on this earth. You came filled. Purnata. Om Purnamada Purnamidam. You were complete and you came as a complete being here. But somebody taught you the wrong formula, that you've got to fill this. And since then till now, we're trying to fill this. Every desire that generates in you generates from here. Your heart has no desire. Do you know that? I'll prove it. Just a while ago, when you entered into deep silence, you entered into your heart space. Was there any desire at that time? Tell me. No. There was not even a desire to prolong that. Yes? In that moment, you were absolutely at your heart. Everything stopped if you entered into that space. That's the state or the space of your own completion, Purnata, that already resides in you. But our problem is we're not operating from there. No action, no decision we take from this space, because the world comes and tells you that's a stupid action. Everything that you want to do through the heart, the world will come and tell you, illogical. But that's the game. You've got to be illogical. You become too wise. And that's the problem. This world is of spirituality or joyfulness, is the world of mavericks. You think if we live in a very sane way of the mind, we will ever enter into the absolute state of joyfulness always? No. Is that making sense to you? All religion, all spirituality, all sadhana, all meditation is just one effort to shift your center of operation from here to here. And you can only do that if you really trust the flow and intelligence of this thing called life. Our problem is we don't trust this intelligence of life. We trust the intelligence of 250 grams of this thing called brain. Let me tell you something about intelligence and where we are lacking and why AI is beating us. We were talking about AI, Ashokji. Let me tell you the problem. By the way, a lot that I'm sharing with you, you may not find it in any book. So be here. It is not something that you can ask AI about. So you've got something called localized intelligence, individual localized intelligence. Yeah? Mostly you make your decision based on this localized intelligence, which has a lot of data of your experiences. Am I right? This is just the beginning level intelligence. But whole life you just operate from this beginning level intelligence. There's another level of intelligence, which is called collective intelligence. So when many localized units act as one or get connected, we call it collective intelligence. I'm told Navy SEAL, Google, is trying to crack this formula. How do they make Navy SEAL officers in such a way that they don't operate just from their localized intelligence and they plug into each other's intelligence? And then if 10 people go into a zone, war zone, they go as 10 bodies with 10 different abilities, but they operate as one single unit, one single intelligence. They're trying to crack this, my friends. And we long-bearded one in India have been talking about it from 10,000 years. Nobody is listening to us. Well, that's a joke. The world is listening to us. But you understand what I'm saying. That's called collective intelligence. When these individualized units are connected, we call it collective intelligence. I'll come to AI in a bit. This is just level 2 I'm talking about. And then there's something called level 3 intelligence. I call it cosmic intelligence. When now you're no more dependent on this collective alone, you're able to enter into the cosmic space. There's intelligence in the cosmos. You download that intelligence and you operate your life on that. Now the beauty, as your level of intelligence upgrade, you start to develop much more trust in life. At the individual level of intelligence, you don't trust anybody, not your wife, not your husband, you sign agreements even with them. Am I right? It's called what? Prenups. You don't even trust the person sleeping next to you. Because you're operating from what we call the localized individual intelligence. At this level of intelligence, you don't trust anything. You approach life from absolute mistrust. If a doctor suggests you something, you'd go for second opinion. You don't trust anything. And that is the zone of suffering. Sutra hai ye. I'm sharing the secret now. When you don't trust anything or anybody, you enter into what we call suffering. All your suffering is because of mistrust. What is going to happen in the future? Mistrust. Will my partner deceive me? Mistrust. All these are the causes of your suffering. Look at it very carefully and deeply. Are we together? As you move to the second level of intelligence, your trust level parallelly increases. Now you trust people. Now you trust nature. Now you trust animal. Now you're not threatened by any presence. Just a few, not few weeks, but a few months ago, I was walking in the forest up in the Himalayas. We've got all kind of beautiful life forms there. And one life form came very near. I was not paying attention because I was looking at the sky and walking. And a life form just crossed around my feet. I was not even wearing the shoe, I was wearing a sandal. And then I hear a very fearful sound of the rattle. It was a rattlesnake. I just stood still, watched the guy because I've never seen a rattlesnake. But the sound that it makes will shake your heart to the core. And I said, could be the last moment. I'm in the middle of a forest. Even if they try to save me, they can't because I'm very far away from civilization. But this beautiful creature makes rattle sounds, touches my feet. I'm still, walks by. And before it enters there was a big rock, it was just entering into, it was going under the rock, there was space. He stood there, turned around, looked at me. I looked at him as if we were friends from some life. We acknowledged each other's presence. And I thanked him. I don't know what he did. And he went away. Trust, I'm talking about. You start to trust life in its absolute brilliance. And now imagine when you enter into the cosmic intelligence space, what's going to happen? Can't be put into words. That's the epitome of spiritual awakening, we call moksha. These are layers of or levels of trust that you start to expand. And as trust builds or expands, suffering starts to disappear. Joy starts to enter. Trust and joy have a deep relationship. So if you in life, no matter what you do, what you acquire, there's a joyfulness is lacking, please look at carefully. The trust is lacking. And trust is lacking because you're operating at the lowest zone of intelligence. Are we together? AI. Do you know why AI is beating you? You think it's a tool serving you? Yes, it's a tool serving you, but it's beating you left, right, and center. Wait for maximum 24 months and see what it'll do to you. I'm not scaring you. Reality. But what is making AI so powerful? Can you tell me? Anybody?
Trust.
I'm not sure. Kim?
It's connected.
Sorry?
It's connected.
Shabash.
So it becomes a larger entity.
Shabash. And shabash in Hindi means brilliant, well done. Exactly. AI is becoming super powerful because it's connected to other AI systems and they're constantly talking to each other. They're in love with each other, if you say. They're in constant communion with each other. And what are you doing? We're not building that connection with anybody. Humans have lost this art of connecting with each other. The moment you lose the art of connecting, you become weaker species. You know about the forest, how it survives and becomes strong. A forest is called strong when the roots of tree under the earth meet the other roots of other trees under the earth. They don't even care about what species of trees, and they get intertwined and they create a communication network and they connect with source. At the deepest level, they are connected to each other, and that's how they grow, evolve and survive. We started growing as human species only when we started connecting with each other as small tribes. Right? We started reorganizing ourselves. Why? Because we started connecting. Now that's what we are losing very fast. The art of connecting. Why we are losing that? I don't trust you. Why I don't trust you? Because I'm in my head all the time. How do I get out of the head? Please come here. It's right there waiting for you. Just be little maverick. Are we together so far? As I said, I will stop now. Now, anything that you want to talk about. Though Meera gave you some background, I was right in the room listening to everything. I grew up in a place called Delhi. Did my master's in MBA. Went on to become an entrepreneur. Built India's largest HR technology business, which earlier this year got acquired by Goldman Sachs. That was the first full acquisition by Goldman Sachs in India. I'm a very rich man, you know that? The company got sold for about $400 million. I'm 1/3 partner. But I had renounced everything in 2006. Which means I had given all my equity and everything that I had to people. I didn't want to walk into the new life with any plan B. Plan B is a trap. And then 12 years solitude. Then Shiva's order to go out in the world. And I'm a very shy person. I'm a very recluse, private person. Given a chance, I will not even come out of my room for days together. So I tried ignoring his order. Look, ignoring the order of Shiva Ashokji. Next few years, I will just do a little bit and enter into my cave back very, very quickly. People would want to reach out and I will just hide my face. I don't want to meet anybody. But Shiva being Shiva, he doesn't leave you. His order became stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And finally I had to drop all my wheels. Wheel it's called? Veils. All my veils. All my shyness. All my method of being underground. And then I said, okay, if I'm coming out fully, let me be fully in that. So I said, okay, what do I want now? I want a motorbike. So I not requested actually, some beloved Sadhak gave me, pool fund gave me motorbike. I said, okay, I travel a lot in India. My annual average is about, by road, I drive about anywhere between 15,000 to about 20,000 kilometers. No, what am I saying? Yeah. So I travel a lot basically. So I said,
the road this time.
This is road travel. No? She said, okay, we need a good car. And I love automobiles, Ashokji. You saw me in the car.
I saw that.
He just put me into his Tesla and I was like, man, what have you done to me? Now show me magics. So he started showing me all the magic, hands up in the air and car driving and on its own. Look, very new for me from India.
That's trust also.
Sorry?
That's trust.
That's trust. Ah. Yes, yes, that's trust. That's trust. Especially when the technology has evolved. When they were experimenting, you would not trust sitting in that car. But good, good, very good. This is presence. Being present. Shabash. Shabash means well done, great. So whenever I get chance, I do speed motorbiking and I drive, and I love walking, so I walk for. People talk about here 10,000 steps. I've been last 3 days I've been doing some 25,000, 30,000 steps a day. So that's who this being is. Why I'm telling you all this? Oh, by the way, I'm also a householder. I'm not a renounced being in the sense that I still have a wife and have a son. A son is 22, 23 years old. He's a gifted filmmaker. And I also direct films. And I write scripts also, as and when I get time. Why I'm telling you all of this? Because I just said, now it's your time. We can talk about anything under the sun. Anything that is important to your life.
Okay, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Should I use the mic?
Ji.
So the chanting and invocation were just a beautiful experience.
Yeah.
Even given that, I thought, I had not really understood the role of bhakti. I thought meditation was enough to, as you put it, connect with the spirit. In sadhana, eventually keep doing sadhana enough that you get deeper and deeper connection. You can do daily connection, and then eventually the connection will become more and more permanent and so forth through meditation. So what's the role of it? Role of invocations and bhakti and chanting and so forth in that context?
Let me ask you a question, Ashokji,
Sure.
before we explore it. What is the highest human experience?
What's the highest human experience?
Think about it, take your time. And look, everybody, when we are talking like this, he's asking me a question, I'm asking you a question. We're all in this. I'm asking the same question from you. Be very careful. You're just not an audience. You're a participant here, okay? There's a difference. So I ask the same question to all of you. What's the highest human experience? Reflect and then tell me.
Well, the highest experience to me is love.
Okay.
And love for me is whether I'm feeling human connection love or feeling spiritual love. At some time, feeling connected to not just, and I'm calling it love, that connection that I have, that's to me feels like the highest level of experience.
Beautiful. Do we all agree with this? Yes, that's the highest human experience. And love has stages of purification. At the lowest level, love has a lot of karma in it. Attachment to it. At the lowest level, love has a lot of attachment. I love this mic, this is my mic, I love this. I'll not give it to you. Wherever I go, I'll take it along with me. As you progress in life, evolve in life, Ashokji, the purification method happens and this love starts to become non-attachment oriented. But the self is still there. I am loving you. I still there. Low attachment, but I still there. But then as you evolve and purify this love further, it starts to become selfless love. And the epitome of that we call devotion. Now, if the highest human experience is love, then the highest spiritual experience must also be based on love. Simple logic. Now, but we feel that when it comes to dhyana or divine, we just meditate and do whatever kriya/sadhana that we do, and through that, whatever form of awakening that we are seeking will happen. But you've missed the point. The whole point is, whatever is the highest human experience, you want to elongate it. You want to make this highest human experience not dependent on anything. You want that highest human experience to be there forever, non-dependent, stabilized. You want yourself to be stabilized in that higher human experience. Are we together? Now, that's where devotion kicks in. What is then devotion? Is higher human experience which is not dependent on anything and which is prolonged. So you are in the mode of devotion/bhakti forever. And now this devotion or bhakti or love is just not associated to one being called Shiva or one human being. It starts to expand itself out. We're entering into something very critical. Please listen to this carefully. In the beginning, love happens with one object. Let's call it one person. I love this person. I fall out with this person, so I start to love this person. We keep replacing objects. And then somewhere along the line, you enter into spirituality and you make Krishna, Rama, Jesus, Shiva as the new object of sadhana or love affair. New. Please look at very carefully. Objects are being replaced, but the flow of river called love is constant in you. Once you tap into this understanding, Ashokji, then objects become meaningless. A. B. Then an expansion starts to happen. Now you will not say, I love this object more and that object less. What Krishnamurti called it, choicelessness. Now you are with the river more, not with the object more. Please look at it very carefully. Throughout our life, we are with the objects more, objects of our love. What is spiritual progress? When from the object you enter into the river called love, this process which we are calling love, this connection that we are calling love. And once you stabilize on this connection bridge, which I'm calling the river of love, A, objects are no more important. B, the river starts to expand. And every object starts to become part of your river. Example. Any great being that you experience in life, guru, spiritually enlightened, or spiritually advanced being, one thing that you will see in all of them, from Dalai Lama to Mother Teresa, to Jesus to Buddha, is they're not entangled with the objects of love. They will embrace you, an elephant, an ant, a tree, a river, a mountain, the air, and the unknown equally. Choicelessness. Now, river does not choose which object to go towards. We are entering into the deep depth of our heart. Is this just a philosophy? No, I'll prove. There is a spiritual guru in India called Ramana Maharishi. If you've heard the name, Ramana Maharishi, some of you. Ramana Maharishi is the epitome of what we call Advaita Vedanta, the path of knowledge, the path of inquiry, which is a very dry path of inquiry. You just keep asking yourself, who am I, what do I do, who am I, what's my purpose, kind of a thing. Very dry path. You don't need anybody, you just sit alone and try to just explore this. Very dry. Path of knowledge, which we call Jnana Yoga, is a very dry path. And this being called Ramana Maharishi is the epitome of Advaita Vedanta, the path of knowledge in the world. Every great Western philosophical / spiritual teacher you find is inspired and touched by Ramana Maharishi. Any teacher that you meet here, right? Now, Ramana Maharishi would sit at his ashram, look at a mountain called Arunachala, which is the form of Shiva we consider in south of India. Tears will flow from his eyes, and he will write poetry for Arunachala. He's written poetry for Arunachala. They sing even that. He's no more in body, by the way. In his ashram, they still chant that poetry that he wrote in the praise of Arunachala Shiva, while tears were coming from his eyes. A squirrel will move around in his presence. He will look at the squirrel and tell people, you didn't feed the squirrel today. Love. When a monkey would come to the ashram, he had named everybody. A cow called Lakshmi was in the ashram, and there was a dog called Jackie. Whenever he will sit, Jackie would just come and sit there. And when Jackie the dog died, what did he do? He built samadhi of Jackie in the ashram. You know samadhi? The tomb where you can go and pray. So there's tomb of the cow, there's tomb of the dog, there's tomb of the monkey, there's tomb of the squirrel, there's tomb of a crow. Love affair, Ashokji. This man called Ramana Maharishi is the man of devotion also. Look into his eyes in any photograph and you will feel love emanating from his eyes, even now, through the photograph. That's profound. That's the way. You start from devotion, you start from meditation, you start from inquiry, no matter what you do, you end up in devotion. That's the epitome of human experience, I'm telling you. You only said.
Devotion.
So is spirituality different from human life? No. The same epitome of human experience you can now experience as love is the same experience of spiritual awakening also. There the word that we choose is devotion. Buddha is devoted to humanity, isn't he? 40 years the man kept walking the earth, preaching, talking to people. Peak of divine human experience now. These beings were devoted to humanity. Jesus, he was devoted to welfare of the world. He wanted to make the entire world awakened. Isn't that devotion for the humanity? Look carefully into every being and you will find this. So what I say is, if that's the human height, peak human experience, why don't you integrate that in your spiritual journey? Why are you devoiding yourself of this beauty, of this ananda from day one? Listen to this carefully, Ashokji. We think ananda lies somewhere there. Once through meditation I reach there, it will happen. No, but that ananda of love must be integrated right now into your spiritual practice. Carpe diem. You got to seize this moment when you're meditating, no? Think about it. And we can explore it later in more detail. But think about it. Stay with this. That changes the entire game. Yes.
So, I always feel so much love in your presence. And my heart has a deep longing and desire to continue in that direction. And I also have a longing for a family and a husband one day, but I know I want to be sure that that longing is coming from purity of heart and not from mind. And I don't know if it's to follow on a spiritual path. Not that I want to separate the two, but I'm at an age that I want to just trust whatever happens is meant to be. And I guess I don't really fully know what my question is. It's just, I want to do what's best for nurturing the heart, and I don't always know because sometimes this is too loud. And I've been having more of a practice of sitting here and being in the space of love and trusting that whatever is meant to be will come for me. I guess my question is, maybe it's not a question. Never mind.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I think it's just how to have patience and truly trust that
Yeah.
whatever is best will be, not to have the desires of mind.
Till the time whatever is best for you appears in your consciousness. Yesterday I said, start to practice that one thing which will make everything else possible, is start to practice the art of connecting back. Connecting to world around you, connected to every being around you, connected to every object around you, connected to every sentient being. And when you start to do that, the river, the flow of the river which is stopped because of this, starts to open again. And in that, synchronicities happen, and what is best for you appears. So do that. Yes, ma'am.
When you're saying start connecting,
Right.
and actually because I don't know what your philosophy is,
Mm.
what are the means that you suggest
To connect?
to connect? Because overall what we live, what I have learned in life is seva, satsang and sadhana.
Yes.
And that gets you in space.
Yes.
And you feel it.
Yes.
And you feel changing yourself.
Yes.
You feel the connection. You feel like I can anymore feel if I see the pain of a child. I feel the pain as my own child.
Yeah.
It's no longer has to be my own. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
So, path of meditation and spirituality. I like to listen to knowledge tips, etc. Gets you there.
Yes.
But what do you suggest the mean of connection?
Okay. Whatever you said are the means of connection. But if you want pinpointed, share. Sharing is the biggest means of connection. Sharing of what? Your time, your energy, part of your being, resources, tears, laughter. Share everything. When you go for seva, don't go for seva as I'm going to do this service. Go as sharing. Change the context. From serving, move into the space of sharing. What is, now we are entering into something very important. Listen to this carefully. Divine or existence has given some tremendous gifts to all of us. Tremendous gifts. From the beggar to the king, divine has given some tremendous gift to everybody. If you hold that gift just for your own well-being, problem. Connections will not happen. But the day you start to open your hand and you start to say, these gifts that have been given to me are given for a reason. The world must become a little more beautiful with these gifts. Let me go out, share, and not expect anything in return. That's the day you truly start to understand and experience connecting. When you don't have any agenda of your own. Big thing I'm saying. We always carry some agenda. You come to a satsang, there is an agenda. Correct? I come to a satsang, no agenda. I don't even know how many people are coming. I don't even know, ask Ashokji. Ask Meeraji, my EA. Even till the car, inside the car, and now, even till now, I didn't ask who all are turning up, how many people turning up. I've got no agenda. There's this friend Anika I met 4 days ago. She sent a message yesterday that I may not be able to come. There's some things. All right. She appeared. No agenda. The only agenda right now is, can I share what truly is coming to me? And the moment the satsang is over, that's it. What happens afterwards, none of my business. That's your business and Shiva's business. I am out of the equation. You come back to me, beautiful. You say I wasted 2 hours, beautiful. Are you understanding what I'm saying? You drop your agenda, and only then true sharing and true connecting will happen. Till the time there's an agenda, it's all manipulated stuff. We are still in the zone of what I call transactions. Hey Bhagavan, mujhe ye de do. Oh God, give me A. And if you give me A, I'll give you A minus X. Agenda. No connection. None of us have really divine connection. We're fooling ourselves. Connections do not base on transaction. Very interesting thing happened a few days ago. A very rich lady came with her husband to see me. They are big industrialists in India. Beautiful people. Deep, honest people. But the lady heads a large foundation of that industrialist. She heads that foundation. And what they do a lot of good work with the poor and needy and orphans and this and that. Large scale work. She came, she met me and she said, I'm dejected. I said, lady, what happened? You do good work, why are you dejected? She said, I nurture these kids for 10, 15 years, even get them jobs, skill them. Once they get the job, they don't even come back and say thank you. I don't even get their emails. Worst, they go and join competing industry, competing business. I said, come lady, let's sit, we need to talk. You're not contributing, you're not connecting, you're not sharing from the true space. What is your job? Do you want to train them and keep them caged with you so that they become your great assets and resources in your company tomorrow? Or you're really nurturing lives and letting them sprout wherever their destiny takes them? What are you trying to do? You're trying to own them. No, that's not connection or sharing happens. Please.
Does the Guru grace has something to do with
Big thing to do. Not something, big thing to do.
And how, I don't know, it's just kind of very interesting. Sometimes you feel presence, but more frequently you wish or you have longing of that connection,
Yeah,
but you are missing it.
yes, shabash.
And you keep longing and then you keep hoping you are on the right path because you have a
Correct.
guru.
Correct. Look at it carefully now, what is happening and what happens to all of us. And that's also part of the journey. At the heart, there's always longing. You want to be in the presence. You want to experience the presence continuously. You want to live in the presence. But then this guy kicks in. Mistrust, distraction, non-single pointedness. All of that starts to happen. So there's always a conflict between the longing of the heart and the distractions of the mind and the chatter that it creates. You have the signal of longing here in the heart, but the noise here becomes too much and the signal gets lost in that noise. Noise is there. Signal is also there. When you meditate, as he was saying, what are you really trying to do in meditation? Is you're minimizing the noise. It's all meditation is the art of subduing the noise. The more you're in love with the signal, it's easier for you. Please understand it carefully.
But how?
You're asking me how to love?
Yes.
Oh, we've got to
It's
start
not
from the
easy.
basic. We've got to start from the basic. No, I'm just making a joke. The day you start to cultivate two things, habit of appreciation and habit of gratitude, thankfulness. Just two things, no rocket science here. Appreciating this moment. Okay, I hear you. I know time is up. I hear you. Give me a few moments. I said, give me a few moments, please. I'm here in this moment.
Looks like the
And
phone
I
got connected.
am now
Phone got disconnected.
telling you the truth of what this being is feeling right now. Here I relay. I'm experiencing deep appreciation for Ashokji. He enabled this. I'm experiencing deep appreciation for each one of you. Because there's a sense of longing/inquiry you have. For me, that's a big thing. It's a grace, it's a blessing that any human being gets this inquiry or longing in the heart. That's the treasure. The biggest treasure that you get in this life is the longing. Otherwise, we are all mechanical tools, robots, machines, not living. This longing makes us human being. You got this longing. Welcome to the human beingness. I appreciate this. And then gratitude. I mean, absolute gratitude for all of you being here. And I'm also in gratitude for this being who's not been sleeping. Last night was the only night I slept 4 o'clock in the morning. I slept for 6 hours. Last 5 days, I've slept hardly 2 hours a day. Gratitude. Gratitude that this being is not sick, kicking in, able to share what my Shiva has asked me to share. Gratitude for that, to this being also. These are the two things. And the more I do that, the more I become madly in love. As simple as that. Please stay with this. Appreciation and deep, heartful gratitude. This is not mechanical thank you. Please stay with this. Yes?
Because sometimes gratitude, I'm doing okay with, and I'm learning to more and more. I feel that in my heart. But appreciation is, I don't know, the way I grew up, you don't, I mean, a lot of things maybe you can appreciate, but I have issue doing it because people like, oh, you are buttering me up, or, it's just, so I kind of hold back.
Don't do
and
that.
I know myself.
Don't do that. Just because people say something and think will something, you are closing your heart, and that's the biggest mistake that we're doing as humanity. I want to express something to you, I'm not able to do that because what the people will say, it's getting recorded. You understand that? All these fears, and what the mantra we chanted, Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Oh Shiva, take me away from all fears and take me into the zone of absolute fearlessness.
Stop.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Relax. We're good. Storms happen, but we're good. Appreciate the fact that he didn't fall. Please appreciate the fact. Yes, ma'am, at the back.
So I was curious about cosmic intelligence. What is
Yeah.
that in your view, and the relationship to love?
Shabash. To me, in my experience, love opens the door. Okay, let's technically look at it. What does love really do to you? It breaks the mental barrier. We were talking this morning, Ashokji. The whole problem is the mental barriers. Barriers of thoughts, perceptions, judgments, preconceived notions, and putting everything into a box. I'm a Hindu, one box. You're Christian, another box. I'm human, another box. That is a animal, another box. What does love do? Technically, it breaks the boxes. It shatters the barriers that we have created. Correct? Now, when these barriers starts to dissolve, you are just not this 60, 70 kgs of being. You're deeply always connected to the source. What is the proof of that? Go read about pineal gland now. This guy sits here, which in India we call third eye, Agya Chakra. That's your source connection. That's your connection with the source constantly. You never lost that connection. That's cosmic intelligence. What is cosmic intelligence? Intelligence that moves the planets. Intelligence that creates the sun. Intelligence that makes the sun into a black hole. That's cosmic intelligence. Through this, you're able to connect to the cosmic source. You're already connected to the cosmic source or cosmic intelligence all the time. But the connection is very weak now. Extremely weak. And one of the medical terms we talk about that is calcification of the pineal gland. Please go read it. I feel some intelligent people started creating some products that we use in our daily life so that calcification of the pineal gland happens more. They don't want us to be connected to the source. They want to, if you get connected to the source back, they will lose you. You will not hear to them. You can't be slaved now. This is human potential. We are born with this potential. But some work is needed towards that. That's how you connect to the cosmic intelligence. And that entire blueprint of not just this life, all life is revealed to you.
Is cosmic intelligence also love?
Love is the
I mean,
channel.
Is it the channel or is the whole universe, the whole creation?
Way of putting this. We both are talking about the same thing.
Okay.
Way of putting is different. I'm saying it's a channel.
Okay.
You say, no, that is it. I'm with you. That is really it. When one gets enlightened, you know what one realizes? Love. That's where it all ends. And that's where it all begins from. The whole cosmos, as per Hindu mythology, started when Shiva was in ecstasy of love and started dancing. We call it the dance of creation. That's where it all started, with love. And then one day he says that, I would love to end this also. And with that love, he brings entire creation back into his heart. We call it dissolution. It starts from there, it ends there. That's my experience also. Right. Hope it helps.